Hey there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here with horse racing selections for Southwell for Friday the 20th of February. Well, it's Constitution Hill Day. Yes, it runs on Friday, which is today, at Southwell in the 7:30 race. Very interesting to see it on the flat, but to be honest, I hope it runs extremely well without actually winning. It's a very interesting race, but what I'm going to do, as you can see, all my selections are currently in view. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to read you through the selections very quickly. What I will say is, I will be having a very low stake each way lucky 31. I have chosen an each way selection in the Constitution Hill race. Well, it isn't the Constitution Hill race, but it's the race that Constitution Hill is in. So let me get into it. The selections, apart from the selection in the Constitution Hill race, are all well handicapped, handle Southwell, and I think will run well. I'm not going to go into great detail. If you like the look of my selection, then what I would say is, if you like the look of it or like the price of it, take a look for yourself, see if you fancy it yourself, and then back it if you fancy it. So the first bet in the each way lucky 31 is Tennessee Gold in the 8:30 at Southwell. It's priced up at 10-1. The favourite, I believe, is 7-2. Down to the Kid, I think it's called. This horse was beaten 4 lengths by that horse. However, the saddle had slipped on Tennessee Gold in that particular race. It's down a further pound in the ratings, and I think, because it handles the course, I think it will run well at Southwell in the 8:30. So I think Tennessee Gold at 10-1 is a decent price. I will be back in these selections with Ladbrokes. There are many sites that are offering extra place races and things like that. I may well look at another site, but I'm giving you these just so you can see the actual selections rather than for you having to back them with Ladbrokes. Do what you think best. What I would always do is probably, if I was you, I would take SP and get as many prices as you possibly as you possibly can. The second selection is Master of My Fate at 7-1 in the 8 o'clock at Southwell. I do believe this is a 5 furlong race. I may be wrong without looking. I'm not going to go into it now because I'm already 2 minutes in. It's drawn high, and I tend to think that when there's a bit of rain knocking around, I do think that they do tend to come on this near side. So I would fully expect the near side to possibly be favourable, especially on this 5 furlong course. It's ridden by Jason Hart, Sean and John Quinn, best horse in the race. It's been a little bit in and out, but I do believe that it will run a decent race. And I think 7-1 is quite reasonable. The third selection is the first selection I'm giving out in the race that Constitution Hill is in. Well, currently they are offering at least 3 places with most bookmakers. And I'm going for the selection called Gambino. It's 10-1, and like I said, it's in the 7:30 at Southwell, which also has Constitution Hill running in the race. So, Gambino, it is very closely tied in with the current favourite of the race. Not on lines of form, but actual Racing Post ratings. They are both rated in the 80s, according to the Racing Post ratings. And I think 10-1 for a not a Harry Skelton, for a Dan Skelton trained horse. They do seem to be very good at pinching prize money. I think it's either 18 or 21,000 available to the winner. The Skeltons aren't going to turn their nose up at that, but don't get wrong, there are some other big stables in there. Hence your Nicky Henderson, hence Willie Mullins, Fergal O'Brien, and also Kevin Philippart Defoy has one in it, which is also the favourite. But I think Gambino, which pretty much nearly the best form, or should I say flat form in the race, has an excellent chance. So let me just talk. No, in fact, I won't. I'll go on to the next selection. The next selection is Unassuming at 5-1 in the 7 o'clock at Southwell. Trained by George Bohey, ridden by Billy Loughnane. I think it's got an obvious decent chance. Second or third favourite. Another horse that I think has got a decent chance. I do believe it is now off its last winning Southwell mark. And that horse is called Betson at 8-1 in the 6:30 at Southwell. Decent, but I also think it's an obvious chance. So I'm not telling you anything that you wouldn't be able to find find out for yourself. So let me get on to the Constitution Hill race, as I keep calling it quite wrongly. It's a 7:30 race over 1.4 miles, and most bookmakers are paying at least 3 places. I think Square Necker will win this race. The horse I'm most concerned about is actually, it's not Constitution Hill. I kind of want Constitution Hill to win the race, but I just don't think it will. And I think there are prices too big to ignore outside of Constitution Hill. I think if Constitution Hill was going to win the race, you're talking even money or shorter. So what I'm doing is I'm going for Square Necker because it won very well last time on the all-weather. My angle is, yes, these are very good horses from the jump scene. But Constitution Hill is a 2-miler or a 2.5-miler Aintree. It's a very talented horse, but it's not 1.5 miles. What if it turns into a sprint? I don't think Constitution Hill, although as classy as it is, will really want a 2 or 3 furlong sprint if they dawdle. Daddy Longlegs, I've looked at it. I think basically the bookmakers are a bit petrified because it's Willie Mullins and it's Ryan Moore. Maybe Daddy Longlegs is the obvious selection given how powerful the Willie Mullins stable is and the fact that Ryan Moore is coming for the ride. But I'm prepared to overlook it. And what I am doing, I'm going for Gambino each way, but I am going for Square Necker to have the flat speed to basically outspeed these, in a nutshell, these national hunt horses, these hurdlers. Very classy hurdlers, don't get me wrong. But I just think Square Necker might have just a little bit too much pace for it. I might be wrong. If I am wrong, I don't mind if Gambino wins. However, I would like to see Constitution Hill win readily, and shake up the champion hurdle market. And let's try and find out what horses are actually going to run in that race. Because you are still trying to work out which horses are going where. That is why I haven't given a preview yet, because I've picked 2 horses in the race, in the champion hurdle, which I think will be running, and they are very tasty prices, and you wouldn't pick them in your first 4. So that's very interesting. So look out for my champion hurdle preview. It will be out possibly over the weekend. So those are all the selections for Friday night at Southwell. So I wish you the very best of luck. Charlie Winters, over and out. Cheers, mate.